The 6 costly marketing mistakes you're making for your Web3 company. Founders, listen closely because here are my qualifications. I have 9 years at BlackRock, Google, Web3 companies like Native doing DEX liquidity infrastructure. And I've not only done it for corporations, I've done it for myself. I have 68 million views on my personal account. So I know a little bit about marketing. And then I also host the fastest growing Web3 podcast called Building Web3. Interview founders all the time, talk about their problems. Sometimes it can be like a therapy session. And I know intimately the problems in marketing in this space. So if you want to work with me, buildingweb3.xyz, let's get back on to the presentation. The number one mistake I see most companies making is they're not focusing on the founder's social media. You cannot just have the company post all of the social media. In this day and age, the founder needs to be the number one marketer for the company. You can bring in a CMO. Sure, they should be tweeting. Sure, all the executives should be tweeting about the company or doing other channels as well. YouTube is very popular, but they need to be creating content. It is no longer optional. If you want to run a company, you need to be a content creator. Personal accounts grow way faster. People are much more likely to follow a person than they are some random company, DeFi router 123.xyz. Nobody's going to follow that. Most of these companies are just buying fake followers, and it's evident. They get almost no impressions. So personal accounts are going to grow way, way faster. So founders and executives need to be posting. I'm not saying don't post from the company accounts, but use them more as a marketing collateral. And then we're going to want to leverage ghostwriters if possible, because a founder's going to be like, well, dude, I have all of these things. I got to worry about product. I got to worry about fundraising. I got to worry about community management. If you must, hire a ghostwriter. Keep the content flowing. A nice thing about hiring somebody, what I would recommend to do, is hire somebody that does long form blog posts, and then take those blog posts and have your ghostwriter chop that into tweets, tweet threads, YouTube scripts. It doesn't always have to be the founder maniacally tweeting 3 times a day. Take one longer piece of content and break it up. Then this brings up another point, and I was probably making this point a little bit earlier, is you can't just focus on one channel. You can't just be, hey, we spend 100% of our time on Twitter. There are so many more channels than Twitter/X. You need to be thinking about Discord, Telegram. Some of my favorites actually are newsletters. They're highly tailored. So think about newsletters, email marketing. If you guys aren't taking advantage of cold email, it's very, very effective. A lot of my guests for the podcast itself through cold email. If you're not doing fundraising, cold email. Send more emails. Then podcasts. Podcasts are a great one. I personally prefer if the podcast is a video podcast, because what you could do is you can take that video recording, you can chop it into shorts. Boom. Now you got it on Twitter. You can upload it to Farcaster. You can upload it to YouTube. The two main platforms I think are being incredibly underlooked, because as a marketer, you're always looking for underpriced attention. I think it's newsletters and then YouTube. YouTube, because it's a search engine at its heart. So you can really customize and be like, okay, if somebody's searching for modular blockchains, I want to be the number one keyword for that. A really good example of this was Gillette. Gillette, obviously not a crypto company, but I have a crypto example after this. So let's actually just hop into ignoring the power of search. So you need to be thinking about SEO. So Gillette, what they did was when they first came to YouTube, they saw that the keyword for how to shave was already taken. They couldn't really break into that top search result. So what they did is they looked for a bunch of different ways to say, okay, how to shave your legs, how to shave your armpits, and how to shave your mustache, all different kinds of things on how to shave. So they took all of those separate keywords. So if you find that the top keyword, and it almost never is actually taken, you can always add an additional thing. I highly recommend this tool called vidIQ. I'll do a video on this later, where you can go in, you can search, let's say your thing is base chain. You're on the base chain, and you can search base blockchain, base Web3. And then you can try to get all the different keywords there and be the number 1 or number 2 search result there. Another reason I really like YouTube and SEO optimized, say, blog posts is it's last. If you tweet, the tweet's gone in like 45 minutes, unless you spent a ton of time on that thread. And even those threads, like how many times are you bookmarking a thread and it just gets absolutely destroyed? But if you have a really good YouTube video, if you have a really good blog article that ranks really highly, you're going to constantly be getting a steady stream of traffic. And you really can't say that about any other form of social media. So what you really want to do is take your keyword foundation, find some keywords that match with your product, put them into a tool like vidIQ if we're using something like YouTube. And we're going to continue to make videos. We're going to continue to make blog articles about those specific topics. And little by little, we're going to rank much higher. We're going to see what the competition's doing, and we're going to rank higher than them. I think one of the reasons people ignore SEO is that it takes a longer time. It might take 6 to 18 months to see really significant results. But when you're dominating every single keyword, it's going to be worth it. CoinMarketCap did this to a really great extent about dominating almost all of the crypto related keywords and really grabbing them and being one of the top most, really the best produced videos in the crypto sphere, in my opinion. But even though it's hard to do, it doesn't mean you shouldn't get started. I say get started today. Anything is better than nothing. Just map out some keywords and start making content related to those and try to rank higher than your competition. Now, another problem I see is that people are always like, oh, I need to build in-house, when really it's very expensive. Agencies often can do much better work than in-house, in my opinion, because agencies, they offer very specialized services. You might have someone in-house that, ran a few Twitter ads back in the day. But if you go to a specialized agency that only focuses on Twitter advertising or only focuses on writing YouTube scripts, yeah, sure, you might have a generic copywriter, but how good are they at actually producing YouTube scripts? So often these agencies are much more specialized and provide a much better solution for the value. And they're often more cost effective. The one nice thing about agencies is they don't have an employee mindset. They can be, unfortunately, let go at any given time unless you have like a really long retainer with them. So they're usually much more cost effective, one, because they produce better results, and two, because they can be let go, and managing an in-house team can be quite difficult. So you essentially have managers at that agency that are going to overlook all of this work. And then agencies provide as well a lot of flexibility. You can pretty much scale them up, scale them back. This is another reason it's not necessarily an agency, but I like fractional CMOs because you can bring in some expertise. They're going to get running in like a week or two versus like a CMO might take months to get onboarded. Agency or like a fractional CMO can come in. You can use them for the project you need. You use them for the hours you need, scale them back down. The next thing is people are not spending enough time on their landing page. What you need to do is you need to embed some kind of pixel on your landing page, and you need to see each point at which the user either rage quits, leaves. I think Microsoft Clarity is pretty good. You need to find out where people are falling off in your funnel. I'd recently interviewed this guy, Andy from X Plus. He talked about when he was working for crypto.com, and crypto.com was really aggressive in marketing, really aggressive in spending money. And they were very maniacal about, okay, they made it to the sign up form. Where did they leave? Where did they stop signing up? Okay, did they sign up, but they never deposited funds or they never bought funds? Okay, why? And they were very, very specific, and they were able to build a massive company off being really, really specific about what points in the funnel people dropped off. At what point in the landing page did the user be like, not worth it? You can't just focus on making it pretty, right? But you can't also just focus on being 100% functional. So web design is incredibly important. You need to map out each specific point of your funnel, each specific point of your land up, of your sign up process, of your depositing process, and find out what is actually working. Why do people leave the site? And honestly, if you need to provide some kind of incentive for people to fill out like a user form, do it. Interview your users. Find out where the friction point is, because you are leaking money. And another thing that people are really doing wrong is they're ignoring affiliate programs. Yeah, they might have like Galaxy, Quest, but if you're able to go with very specific KOLs being influencers in the space, you guys know this, you can offer really competitive commissions for people to write blog articles, write Twitter threads on you, to feature you on your podcast. Hey, hit me up. Go on like something like Bankless, go on something like, there are so many opportunities to get your message out there. So if you're thinking, hey, well, I'm not the best content creator, go to the best content creators, have them create content on your behalf, and give them a competitive commission on the attribution, on the additional TVL that they bring you, or the additional the additional users they bring. And you need to manage this effectively. I had recently interviewed the founder of Multibase. So think about using a tool that's going to enable you to make a campaign where you're like, okay, we bought some space in this newsletter. Can we tie it to an on-chain ID? Like, did they come from this newsletter list? Boom. Can we attribute that to on-chain behavior? So make sure you're using some kind of attribution software in order to manage these programs effectively and manage the influence of those KOLs and make sure like, hey, where are we spending good ad dollars? And obviously not just ads, like where are we spending good marketing dollars? So those were the 6 major places where I see Web3 companies making marketing mistakes. If you've seen those mistakes and you're like, damn, that's me, reach out to me. Stop wasting your marketing budget. Connect with me. Let's share your Web3 journey. Let's see what you're building. Let's get you a structured plan to grow so you can expand your reach. And what did users really bring? They bring you more money. I want your business to always be making more money. So talk to me. Links will be in the bio. Look forward to speaking with you. Like, share, subscribe.